Hi, I'm Cliff Barrickman, and this is the ECBRO Cryptid Webcast Show.
Infrasound, being zapped. What is it? Why are just a few people claiming to experience such a thing? Some people claim being zapped is a form of infrasound by a Sasquatch. Well, we're going to learn something today, and we're going to learn what is being zapped or what people believe is being zapped, and we're going to learn about infrasound and how they're related, and if it's even possible by a Sasquatch. Stay tuned. I'm going to give you a brief definition of what infrasound actually is. Now keep in mind, we will be getting to Zapped. We're going to explain how infrasound and Zapped are related and how it's being applied into the Bigfoot community. Infrasound is a frequency below 20 hertz where humans cannot hear. On the other hand, large animals can, such as whales, elephants, rhinos, hippos, and giraffes, and also large cats such as lions and tigers and so forth. These animals use infrasound and could hear infrasound. In the case of these with these animals, they use it to communicate, communication, and also such as elephants to gather the herd or to locate the herd, or in some instances it could be a safety precaution, a warning they can pick up when bad weather is possibly approaching the area. Their communication could be, as far as infrasound, could be reached for a long distance. I mean, it could be miles. That's how incredible these animals are at using infrasound or receiving it, emitting it. On the other hand, such as your lions or tigers, they actually use it through their purring, their growls, which it's a growl that we can't even hear, but it puts out a vibration, a sound wave that's not heard but felt. Okay? Now, okay, stay with me here. Infrasound, do primates, non human primates, do they use infrasound? Well, through research and studies, there is so far one primate that has or uses infrasound. And it's a very tiny primate, a tarsier. All right? They're such a small primate, one of the smallest primates in the primate kingdom. They actually use infrasound for communication. Interesting, right? They are a primate, but they're small. All right. Now, next question is, do other primates use them? Through research, it's being conducted. Research and studies are being conducted on a large study of animals and other mammals, and so forth, etc., etc. Now, zapped. What is being zapped? We hear on a number of cases, a lot of reports, you see a lot of videos where people experience being zapped. I'm not going to mention no names, but I could think of two right off the bat. I'm sure a number of you are familiar with these two individuals. All right. Uh, they kind of experience them, what they call being zapped in maybe a couple different ways. One, talking about your brain being burned, like you're feeling this burning pain sensation inside your brain, inside your skull. Severe pressure, like you're about to break down and you can't take it no more. That's their explanation, or excuse me, their definition or description of being zapped. Well, I'm not denying that these individuals experience this, but what I am going to state, they stated that it happened by Sasquatch or Bigfoot did that to them. Well, right there is a speculation. To make a blunt claim to say that a Bigfoot did this It's speculation. One, they did not see a Bigfoot in the area. Two, and most importantly, there's no proof that Sasquatch zaps. Okay? If that's what you call them, zapped, electrical charge and impulse into the human brain that's disabling you and creating pain, that's not Sasquatch. Okay? There's no proof of this. Okay? All you zappers and those who feel like you're being zapped, I mean, you might as well watch a sci-fi movie and put your aluminum caps on. If you're worried about getting zapped in the woods, I mean, you'll look like a fool. You'll look like how you sound. I mean, many of you sound like a fool when you claim you're being zapped or experience this pressure. Very, very few individuals are claiming and coming forward about being zapped. All right. Let me try to get into a little bit more definition of what infrasound actually is. We know it's a low frequency where humans cannot hear. Okay, that's straight out, to the point of the scientific definition. All right. As far as what animals can hear it, I just named off a few. All right. What animals actually use it and put it out there? Whales. Whales are common for communicating. Like I said, infrasound is a way of communication. Scientists and researchers, they use infrasound to locate wildlife. They use infrasound to detect volcanoes, eruptions and other earthquakes. That's a good one to throw out there. Earthquakes. They use their technology is used to pick up infrasound, which could be used to pick off, record for long distance. You could be here in the United States and pick something up over in China. I'm just throwing that out there as a example. But many people have been out in the woods. Many people have reported seeing them very close. Not once have they been in the area and claimed this. This is be honest, it's a very rare claim to be zapped. Okay. Now, infrasound, on the other hand, this is something we need to understand. People are throwing this made up thing called being zapped. Yes, I'm calling it make believe, okay? It's make believe. And especially to say that Sasquatch is causing the zapping, whatever, it's all make believe. Speculation. It's a lie. If you're claiming it, you're lying about it because there's no proof. End of story. Don't try to defend that because there's no proof. End of story. Infrasound, on the other hand, it's a proven thing. It's a natural occurrence. It's real, okay? For example, you could be walking through the woods. You could be camping at night. We all hear the birds chirping. We all hear the frogs peeping, It could be noisy, natural sounds of the forest. And then all of a sudden, dead silence. Dead silence. That could be the number one cause for that is there is an animal giving off infrasound, a sound wave that we're not hearing, but they're picking it up. A lot of infrasound is actually felt or heard through vibration. Okay, especially keep in mind a lot of these animals, elephants, for example, they pick up infrasound through their feet. All right, animals in the forest were in my case, in the forest where I research, we have mountain lions. All right. Now, like I said, they give off infrasound. They give off that guttural growl. They give off a growl that's actually not heard. It's more of a purr, like under their voice, more or less, like if you were to whisper something under your voice, so quiet. I'm using this as an illustration, so kind of stick with me here, bear with me here. All right. I know I'm throwing a lot at you all at once, but cats will give off infrasound. It's part of their offense when they are approaching or their prey, for example. A mountain lion or a lion in the jungle will use infrasound prior to attacking and pouncing on their prey. This is a true fact. All right. On the other hand, infrasound could cause a number of feelings. All right. Now, some of the feelings related to infrasound in a number of cases could be depression, nausea, okay, um, the feeling of fear, the sense of being watched. All right. Some of us have actually experienced these natural feelings, which are undeniable. I mean, it's a real natural occurrence. All right. There's senses that our body, our impulses, our brain reacts to in different ways. Every individual is different. There's something that might cause nausea. It could be a number of things. Infrasound is a possible cause of nausea while walking or hiking in the woods. Um, the feeling of fear, especially if you're alone, it's natural. You could be walking through the woods and all of a sudden you just get this feeling there's something there watching you. But yet at the same time, you feel that it could be intimidating. You feel fear. Okay? Fear. These are natural feelings of the human body, human impulses that our body is reacting to the different stimuli. It makes sense, right? A lot of people get an infrasound and this so-called zapping confused. They're mixing it together. To feel that you're getting the pressure burned in your brain, or you're getting a severe headache, or the pressure's building up, that's not infrasound. That is something totally different. That's something due to your health. I'm sorry if you are experiencing that, you better go get a physical, get checked up. All right. I know I'm blabbing on. So, and here shortly, we're going to actually hear from someone who has a few cents, they want to share their 2 cents on what they feel about what it is being zapped. They've actually experienced close encounters, had sightings real close. We'll hear what they have to say. So, and a little bit more about infrasound. Well, again, we're going to hear very shortly from a young lady, a researcher, who has actually had sightings and experienced Sasquatch, got to see Sasquatch. We're going to learn from her experience or what she has to say about being zapped. And then I want to hear from you. If you've been zapped, if you're claiming that it's a Bigfoot, what proof do you have? Well, I could probably tell you, or actually answer that for you. You have none whatsoever. But Miss Donna Hamrick from West Virginia, Bigfoot researcher, member of the ECBRO, she wants to share with us what she, her 2 cents about being zapped. Donna, what do you have to say about that?
The subject is zapped by a Sasquatch. All I know is that I don't believe in that. It's goofy talk to me. I stood in front, or actually behind, I stood behind a Sasquatch for 12 to 15 minutes. Do you understand? 12 to 15 minutes. Felt like hours. Might have even been longer than 12 to 15 minutes. I wasn't zapped. It didn't cloak in front of me. It didn't jump into a portal. It showed me fear. Being zapped, don't believe in it. Infrasound, I don't know about that. I didn't hear anything. So, being zapped, that's got to be a joke. There's no way that can be real. There's no way. There's no way that can be real. This is an animal we're talking about. A mammal, but an animal. A primate of some sort. This is not hocus pocus something. I don't know what to say even. I don't even know what to say to this, because when people start talking that stuff, and I mean they're really serious, I leave. I don't go back there. It's not a place to dwell. Find real. Thank you.
No, thank you, Donna. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your 2 cents on that. Um, you know, you just heard it from Donna herself. She's seen Sasquatch. She's been pretty close to them. And she's a very incredible researcher. I've seen a lot of her research. I've seen a lot of her findings. She's in a very well wooded area, and she's got Sasquatches on her, in her research property. And I I hope she continues to keep on with the research, and we need more logical people like her, people that are sane, down to earth. And again, Zapped. If you're experiencing these conditions, I highly recommend that you go get checked out. I mean, seriously, you need to go get checked out because Sasquatch ain't doing it. You got a physical problem. You got a health problem. I mean, I'm being honest. I'm not putting nobody down. I'm just trying to state the facts. That the fact is there is no proof that Sasquatch did it. That's your say so, your speculation, your lie. Keep that in mind. It's a lie. Infrasound, on the other hand, is real. Infrasound, like I explained briefly, infrasound is a feeling. It's a sound wave. It's a frequency that we cannot hear. That's the truth. Okay? Our bodies react to different feelings. Everyone's different. But to be burned in the brain, like your brain's burning up inside, to feel that's not part of infrasound. Infrasound is no. You can have a feeling of fear. You can have a feeling of nausea. Nausea is a sense or form or in a reaction resulting from infrasound. All right. Yes, everybody's different. Everybody's different. Each individual reacts differently. Our impulses that we receive from the sound waves of infrasound, it depends on what the purpose of or where that infrasound is reflecting or coming from. All right. If you want a better insight on infrasound, I suggest that you do a little bit more your own research on infrasound. Just don't look up the definition of infrasound. It's not going to explain the details. You need to look a little bit more in depth. Research the scientific studies, the work and the experiments that were conducted to get the results of what infrasound does. Um, infrasounds, especially, I think the one about the cat, the mountain lions, the tigers, there was, a lot of the fear that our body or our brain reacts to the different infrasounds that are put out. Um, like I said, I think, I was saying about the cat, I think that's a very common one. That's very possible that when we sense that fear, like with the hair on the back of your neck stands up kind of thing, um, or a predator, for example. When a predator is in the forest and nearby, and when everything goes dead silent, they're putting off a type of infrasound, a vibe. They're giving off that vibe, a sound wave, more or less letting the area know that I'm here, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of how our body's receiving it, we're getting that sense of fear. A lot of time, it's a natural feeling of being alone. You're in a unknown, unfamiliar area, or you're in a heavy wooded area where you just don't know what's around you. Sometimes that fear, that feeling, actually naturally comes to you. It could be a number of things. I personally have actually experienced that sense of being watched. Um, I can't say I've ever felt that feeling of fear, which, well, technically, yes, I have, to be honest with you. Because it's a feeling that it's something unknown. You don't know what could happen, kind of thing. There's something around, but you don't know what. I've I personally have been close enough, yes, to Sasquatch, on a few different occasions. Never, not once, have I ever felt nausea. Not once have I ever felt like I was being zapped or burned in my brain. Actually, be honest with you, it was actually a calming, relaxing feeling. It was exciting. It was very exciting. Um, Now, the one time where I had an encounter where I ruled out every known animal, I didn't see nothing, But the sound that I heard of a very large bipedal steps of a very large heavy subject, it was not a bear because I ruled out everything very carefully. And what I was hearing was bipedal steps. Every step on the ground it took, I can't. I mean, it's you had to been there to experience it. But it was at night. I was alone. Yeah, there was a little fear, nervousness in me, but to know what was just inside those woods walking away from me, it was mind blowing. It was exciting, but yet I was a little nervous. Had that touch of fear in me. Yeah, that subject. I don't know. He was probably well over 400 or 500 pounds. I mean, maybe more. I don't know. I didn't see him, but it was not a bear. It was not a bear. I've been around enough bears, experienced enough bear activity, heard the sound of a bear running, heard the sound of a bear walking. Be honest with you, their steps are actually very quiet. Um, they will not thump and crack everything on the ground as with each step. I mean, it would have to be a massive size, heavy bear. But what I experienced was massive. And like I said, it was bipedal. I know bipedal steps when I hear them. So again, if you've been zapped, or if you claiming to be zapped, and if you're saying by a Sasquatch, I want to know. I want to know what you have for proof. Like I said, the chances of you having proof are 101%. You know, not having proof. So anyway, again, this is Daniel Benoit, founder of the ECBRO. If you haven't done so, subscribe. And if you have any topics or anything you want to hear discussed based off of my research, or anything I could enlighten to you or help you think in a different way that you've heard from others, I'll be glad to. That's what I'm here for. I want to hear from you. Email me. Or if you're on Facebook or social media, send me a message on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. Find me on Twitter. Stay tuned. This week, keep an eye out for the upcoming podcast shows, live discussions with real researchers that are logical and down to earth. And we like to have fun on our shows, but also we want to discuss what you want to hear. We want to discuss what needs to be known and what needs to be presented. That's what we do with the ECBRO. God bless, and I hope to hear back from you. Let me have your feedback. I'm out. And real quick, this is a side note for all you Sasquatch hunters, researchers, enthusiasts, or you hikers and campers. Infrasound. It is real. And when you're out in the woods, one thing infrasound is caused by, as you see on my illustration right here, infrasound. One of the forms of infrasound, or one of the sources of infrasound, I think we should all be aware of, is the airflow over the mountains. Very true. This is awesome information right here. So, just for a second, forget about what animals might be there or what other causes. There's a number of sources that create infrasound or put off or give off infrasound. Okay? We're in the woods all the time. Do you experience nausea? All the symptoms I shared with you. When you're on high altitude, or it doesn't even have to be that. If you're in the mountains, you ever drive up a mountain road and all of a sudden your ears start to pop, and it's the elevation. But also when you're in the woods and you experience nausea, or you feel pressure, or feeling some form of illness or whatever, it's the airflow through the mountains. Ever think about that? There's a number of sources that relate or to infrasound. Keep that in mind. Just because you have Sasquatch on the brain and everything that you believe is created in the woods by Sasquatch doesn't mean, or it's by Sasquatch. Stop speculating. Stop taking speculation and turning it into fact, people. You're wrong. You don't like it, but you're being told that you're wrong. And that's a fact. There's a number of logical explanations for everything that you experience. Until you have proof, undeniable, solid proof or evidence that you can share with the world, your claims are speculation. And if you continue to make these claims, you're a liar, you're a hoaxer, and that's the truth. Anyone who hears you make these claims, if you make these claims without sharing proof or evidence, you're a hoaxer, and that's the bottom line. So, are you going to continue to make these claims without having proof? Well, if you are, you're a hoaxer, and let it be known and spread the word that you're a hoaxer. It's known that you're a hoaxer if you're making these claims. Okay? We're going to talk about hoaxers later on. What makes you a hoaxer? A lot of people are going to hate me on the next one. Just stay tuned. God bless.